Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Three Geeks podcast. Woo! Special episode titled Geek News. That's right. If you've been following us from the beginning, we used to be Geek News, and then we switched to Three Geeks podcast because we felt we got a little bit better, and some of our Geek News casts were not so great.
Well, they just weren't, and we stopped being just about news. We wanted to do different things too.
Yeah. And now we have This is Unorthodox, Sports Nerds, Animaniacs, Pretty Geeks-ish.
It exists. We do it. We do that shit. Shaolin Sofa, fancy chairs.
I thought you quit Shaolin Sofa.
I mean, it hasn't been done in a long time, but it's still one of our podcasts. I mean, you can mention it. Like,
could come back.
Listen to it.
That's right.
I mean, no, go listen to the
if it's popular enough demand, it can come back.
Yeah, but like one dude kind of ruined it for everybody. So I mean, there's that.
But you can just do Shaolin 2 chairs.
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
So what we thought we would do this evening is we have our first episode queued up, something we've not actually really tested too much. So
it's probably not going to work.
We've already tested it, kind of. And
there were questions of how well you all will hear us, but we'll find that out later.
We are going to play this. You'll see our video disappear. And then when we feel like chiming in, the video will come back and we're going to pause it and we will talk. But this is our very first episode. It's Geek News 3 years ago on this day. I think, how many times did we record this episode? We did this episode.
Well, that's the third one, because I say the third inaugural.
Yes.
Geek
okay.
News.
So we recorded this 3 times. So we discussed these same topics 3 different times because we just kept messing it up or get nervous or any various reasons. So Phillip's going to hit play on the cast, and I am going to take the photo away. So enjoy it.
To the third inaugural Geek Newscast.
Which is funny.
My name is Max Andrews. I am your resident comic book expert and smartass, I guess. Is that me? All right. With me, I got Phillip and Jason. You guys go ahead and.
All right. Yeah, I'm Phillip Ford, and I'm going to be probably the resident gaming guy. So definitely, any questions, any thoughts, I'll bring up news stories and talk about that, as well as I'll touch a little bit everywhere else and be able to offer a comic book perspective for movies without the comic book background. As we're listening to this, I am instantly reminded that Max is about to make that you're about to hear.
It's a really good joke.
It was just like, as I was listening to this, I got taken back to that moment in time, and I remembered what's about to happen. And I will hit play.
What else are you gonna touch, Phillip? I'm sorry.
My name is Jay Taylor. I'm pretty much a founded geek, I guess. I'm into Joss Whedon, Star Trek.
So Max, why didn't you touch on that one? Intentionally.
I mean, okay, because I'd already made that one awesome joke, and I didn't need everyone to know like how much of an asshole I am. So I mean, I can make it right now. Like, how far into Joss Whedon did you get, Jason?
Star Wars, the same stuff that Max and Phillip are into. Maybe just don't have the same kind of time, but yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I found time.
So
I have watched Stranger Things. I have watched
Everyone
Ozark.
has watched Stranger Things. You watched Stranger Things a year and a half late.
But I've done it all within the last 3 weeks. I've binged 3 shows in 3 weeks, and I watched the new movie on Netflix with Noah.
Did you finish Defenders?
I have not. I need to finish Stranger Things because Stranger Things is so good. The Defenders is I'm enjoying the Defenders, but it's not as good as Stranger Things. So the whole time I'm watching the Defenders and thinking about Stranger Things. I'm finishing Stranger Things. I've only got 1 episode left tonight. Then I will finish the Defenders tomorrow.
Wow, yeah, that took some serious strength to stop on the second to last episode.
For real.
I'm watching it with my wife.
Okay.
And if you're married, you can't. Yeah, you see.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Anyway, we're completely off topic.
First line of business, which is Star Wars Episode 7. Let's talk about it.
Nice. I'm fucking so excited for this movie. I love J.J. Abrams. I hear he's getting old school with everything, like real sets, puppets, real things going on. It doesn't just look like the weatherman. I hate the CG in the prequels. It was so terrible. And, it just looked like Obi-Wan Kenobi was about to start doing the weather. Here comes Anakin Skywalker, in a low pressure system. But yeah, no, I'm super excited. I saw some photos. I saw some little things that they've done, and you know, I can't wait. I got 100% faith that they're gonna not screw it up. A great movie. I just expect it to not be screwed up.
Awesome. I know you read a lot of the canon. Is there anything from the old canon that
revisiting the Star Wars? You know, like if we're yeah, I mean, like that movie was fucking awesome. It was exactly that. Like,
it was exactly what you hope. Yeah, it wasn't great, but it was good.
It was fucking not fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, no, good job, JJ. Doing good shit. I'm like, no, we got Han Solo this year, right? Or no,
next year.
What's this year?
This year is 8.
8's this year?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I thought Han Solo was this year.
No.
Oh, awesome! Episode 8's coming out this year. I'm so excited. I heard they're using like real shit. They're using puppets in real locations.
Oh shit!
Mark Hamill might say something.
No, he has to say something.
Yeah, no, he's already said something in the trailer.
Yeah, so I was gonna say. All right, back to the cats.
that they're not calling canon anymore? The legend, I guess, that you would like them to use, and something maybe you wouldn't like them to use.
Jar Jar Binks is what I would not like them to use. If they could just erase Gungans from the entire continuity, that I think would be a good move. But no, I'd like to see. I read a lot of the books, and you know, obviously, I watched all the movies. But from the books, I would like to see Grand Admiral Thrawn. He is probably the best villain since Darth Vader. Yeah, that would be the only thing I really want to see. I mean, again, like I got 100% faith in these guys.
So you kind of got that. You just didn't get it in a movie. You just got it on Star Wars Rebels.
Who fucking watches that bullshit? Fucking,
I heard Rebels was good.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually good.
Really good on Rebels.
You have to actually get past the first. The first season's terrible.
Yeah,
second
like 2
season
good episodes.
The second season gets better, and by the time they get to the third season, they start introducing Thrawn and all of it. It actually starts getting complex, like Clone Wars was, and actually with less of the kidding.
Clone Wars,
but less of the childishness that Ahsoka brought.
They brought Ahsoka back.
Well,
I hate that character.
Really?
Yes, she doesn't make any sense. Like, who is this person? Obi-Wan Kenobi never mentions anybody in any of the movies, and then all of a sudden, Anakin, not only, okay, Obi-Wan was never trained by Yoda, like, really, and then, so they fucked that up, and then they bring in this fucking character, Ahsoka Tano, who's Anakin Skywalker's Padawan, and I mean, nothing, like, hey, you could go look for, this chick, she might be able to help you, Luke, like, she trained under your dad, like, what the hell happened to her? Did she die yet?
So they...
Spoilers?
I didn't actually see the most recent season, but they hinted at that.
They hint that she's dead.
Yep.
She better fucking be dead, because she's dead. Like, no one cares if she exists later on in the actual movies. So she better fucking be dead. I hope they show her die. Like, just a shitty fucking character.
And with that, we continue.
Guys, I think they're doing the right thing. So, whatever they do is going to be awesome. But yeah, I'd love to see a Grand Admiral Thrawn. That would be the freaking Empire Strikes Back of this new generation.
Yeah, so I agree. Yeah, I mean, I love that character. I don't know if they'll. I think they might be able to use and model him. Maybe that'll be who the bad guys modeled after, because they obviously can't use it because the guys would have to be a little bit younger, but than they are. But I think I definitely think they're going to do awesome. I mean, I've seen some of the stuff they've produced from the set, like the models of the Stormtrooper outfits. They look like they modernized them reasonably, but they didn't go completely off the reservation. And the fact that they're using real props, like you said, is awesome. So it means I think they're back in touch with what made the original so good, which was they didn't try to be over the top. They actually just tried to be real and genuine and natural. Go ahead.
Not entirely for children.
That's too. They still have some cheese to them, but they're fun.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Jason?
Apparently, the rumor is that the Sith Inquisitor is going to be the villain. I don't know much about him. I don't know if you guys do.
Like a Sith Inquisitor, there's no character like that. No. That's just like saying a Jedi.
How much I knew about Star Wars.
Apparently the droid is going to be the villain in this one. Remember? They have a droid. Sure is.
Shit. Oh, memories. And back. Maybe.
Night. You know, that's like not
Gotcha.
random Sith guy as the villain. Awesome. You know.
Exactly.
Awesome. So yeah, apparently the original Star Wars movies are coming out on Blu-ray without the edits, which is pretty fantastic.
It's awesome.
And I watch AMC Movie Talk a lot. It's another podcast.
A guy on the internet you can buy them from in Blu-ray quality. So technically, they did come out on Blu-ray, just not legally through
This
Disney.
just made me sad. They should still do like they could still get away with this. Like
Yes,
release the original theatrical versions.
Well, the rumors as of late are that it's in the contract they're not able to.
What contract?
With Lucas.
What the fuck?
Because
Look, tell you what. Pay him another $1 billion. Put the fucking good movies out. Fuck that dude. What the fuck is his fucking problem? Why can't we watch good movies?
Because he likes his version of
Fuck him!
Oh, Lordy.
We continue.
That and they were saying that next year the Star Wars movies might actually come out in theaters before 7, and that they will probably not re-release 1, 2, and 3 because they don't want any of the negativity that follows those 3 movies. So they're going to release 4, 5, 6, and lead into 7, and then maybe afterwards, after the movies come out, they'll do the prequels.
I think they should burn the prequels and just act like they never happened. They should just, set fire. They should go track down every DVD copy of the prequels, every little piece of anything, like, memorabilia, all of it burnt. And then they go to Skywalker Ranch and burn that to the ground.
I think for everybody that's listening to the Three Geeks podcast right now, I think we should just do this for the next year. So for the next year, we're just going to replay our old episodes and comment on them. And that's going to become our new Sunday show.
And we'll make them relevant because as we come back on the screen, we'll talk about what's happening this year.
And what we'll do is we'll re-add everybody as they get added into the cast. So once we reach the Mike years, Mike will join us in commentating on the new episodes.
Oh, but we can also give updates on the news that we gave.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's kind of funny that the parallel is happening.
Yeah, see, well, to me, I think, regardless of the negativity, it wouldn't make sense to release 1, 2, and 3 next year. Why would you? I mean, other than just to make money, you're going to then extend it for, I guess, you want to have Star Wars for 6 months, I guess. I think to me, releasing 4 or 5, and 6 and getting people excited about what's supposed to happen afterwards is really their goal, not the distractions, not the before, and then the question of, wait, so 3 ends, how does that tie into this? Oh, okay, in the last 5 minutes, I got you.
Yeah. And apparently Anakin Skywalker is a huge bitch.
Yes.
Well, I mean, with Darth Vader being rumored to have flashbacks in the 7th movie, that makes a lot of sense that they would.
Lies, Jason, lies.
By those rumors,
you don't tell one bit of true news.
Those
no wonder Trump's calling us fake news.
Those rumors have now shifted to episode 8, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All the same rumors apply.
It really does. But I will say that they did make a good Star Wars prequel that tied perfectly into A New Hope, which was Rogue One.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not perfectly, 98% perfect. It's just that last fucking 4 or 5 minutes.
But everyone dies.
Well, yeah, everyone dies, and that's
Spoiler
awesome.
alert.
I'm down for that. But
I really would hope by now they've seen it. It's been a while.
it's like when Darth Vader is coming onto the ship in episode 4.
Yeah.
He's like, I know you received the plans, yada yada yada, and it's like he didn't watch them receive the plans. So there's just that little line because the line that he says, it just doesn't make sense that he fought them, watched the ship take off, and then chased it versus if they were transmitted the codes or the whatever.
They were transmitted, but yes, they give you the idea that he's actually on the ship, which I thought was weird. I agree with you there.
So that was the only thing. Yeah, I was just if they would have just had the ship okay, we're
exactly, we're
hey,
leaving. And
hey, here are the codes.
Ship.
We're sending it over here,
Yeah.
and then he's like, okay, track where that transmission went to. It's this ship. Then I'm gonna go follow it. That would have been the only thing. And K2 was so awesome.
Oh,
I love
my God,
the droid. That was
awesome
the best one. Of course, he dies.
Would want to go through because a lot of kids haven't even seen 4, 5, and 6. There's teenagers that have never seen the trilogy.
Well, what gets me is that in 1, 2, and 3, they just never show him being this dark, evil. You know, get like when they in 4, 5, and 6 they start talking. You talk about Darth Vader, and everyone's just like, "Holy shit!" You know, like that dude's fucked up. Like you don't fuck with Darth Vader. That dude will do some nasty shit to you. And then it's like you don't ever see any evidence of that. You're like, okay, well, Darth Vader might cry at me or freaking go murder some children. You know,
yeah, that's about. I was gonna say when he murdered that. The children. Yeah, that was the most stable thing. I guess the village, right? That was the only other time he showed any sort of like anger without remorse.
I want to see him force crush like 30,000 people at once. It's like, don't fuck with me, I'm Darth Vader.
Well, another news story. Star Trek 3 has its script. That's this movie. I want this movie to be good, but it scares the crap out of me because they went from J.J. Abrams to Robert Orci. Robert Orci is one of the most inconsistent people in Hollywood. He wrote exactly
right though. He got fired.
Who ended up directing that?
James Wan.
James Wan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The guy who did the horror movies. I believe.
Yes, Fast and Furious.
And
7.
he ended up doing Fast and Furious 7. We were all confused, and it ended up being actually decent. Decent. No, I didn't say good. Better than pre-5.
Yeah, I mean, but I like the first one.
Of course you do.
I like the first one. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and defend any of those movies. But yeah, fucking.
Which, by the way, I like 3. Star Trek 3 is actually, I think, the best of the.
Beyond is my favorite. Yep. Like as a not Trek fan, like.
And that's
Beyond.
The most Trek of the newest movies too.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, because it didn't do that thing where it's Star Trek and it's intensely boring, and it also didn't do that thing where it was just Star Wars.
Yes, exactly. It actually did sci-fi.
So yeah, my worries on Star Trek 3 with Robert Orci fixed themselves because they got rid of him, and then they brought in James Wan, which I was a little skeptical of, but it ended up working out in the end. So back to the cast.
He wrote Amazing Spider-Man 2. He wrote Transformers, I think the first 3. He did the first 2 Star Trek movies. Like he was involved with them. He's never directed a movie in his life, and he is directing.
That's more dangerous.
Star Trek.
Hey, there's like a 3% chance that he won't fuck it up. Congratulations.
Well, so I don't know. I mean, the second one was okay. I mean, JJ lost his way on that one, so the change might be good.
I disagree.
I disagree.
I like the second one. I thought the second one was just as good as the first one.
Benedict Cumberbatch killed his role as Khan in that movie.
Cumberbatch will do that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I understand the perspective. I mean, so if you take away Cumberbatch, how's the movie?
I think it's still good. I think if maybe, like we're losing the little translation where, I feel like the first and the second.
What's your beef with Star Trek Into Darkness?
It's unoriginal. Well, unoriginal. Sorry.
Technically, all of it is unoriginal.
No, the first one actually takes. If you're gonna go with base, but what I'm saying is, from the current universe of Star Trek, they went back to Star Trek 2, the second movie. Wait a minute, that's a good villain. Let's bring him back, but let's not call him that. Let's try and misdirect everyone.
Yeah, but they should.
No, they don't.
I do agree that J.J. Abrams, when it got out that Khan was in the movie, I agree that he should have just said it was Khan instead of denying it.
Yeah, but then they had the exact same beats. Like everyone, how can everyone complain about the new Star Trek 7, not Star Trek, Star Wars 7, and complain about how it repeats the exact beats from A New Hope, and then I hear no one do that with Star Trek 2.
That's not the exact same beats.
Oh my fucking god! No, yes, it is.
It is.
Khan, just a different character.
Well, yeah, I mean,
no, it's totally different. Kirk dies this time, dude. It's fucking totally different.
Yes, the last 15 minutes have similarities, but not the rest of the movie.
Yeah, but I didn't buy. I don't know. I just
think
didn't.
Star Wars Episode 7 is beat for beat
amazing.
Episode 4. It's the same exact plots from the beginning to the end.
What I didn't like about Into Darkness was when he revealed that he was Khan. He said it like we're supposed to know, or anyone there is supposed to know, because he's not talking to the audience. He's talking to whoever's in the room.
Yeah.
And he's like, Khan. And it's like, oh, Khan. It's Khan. Like, what the fuck do they care? They don't know who the fuck this dude is.
Yep.
So yeah, that was the only thing where I was like, that's kind of dumb. Like a big dramatic reveal. It's like, who knows who this guy is?
All right.
They need like
Star Trek movies were.
Wow, that was from from back in the wars of yada yada yada, and
which is what they did in the original movie.
Right. So they just needed to steal more from the original movie.
Which they've hired the the writer of Wrath of Khan to
give it to Simon Pegg and let him continue to write.
No, they hired the writer.
He's the one who wrote Beyond, by the way.
They hired the original writer of Wrath of Khan because they're working on a possible miniseries about Khan. Which would be a
separate.
prequel.
All right, I'm cool with that. That actually would be interesting.
It'd be after the original series episode, but before the second movie.
That's cool.
So I'm actually kind of looking forward to that if it ever happens. So we'll see. A lot of this news that we talk about never comes to fruition.
Why would they just make
so many spinning
plates? They froze
plates.
Khan and they sent him out into the universe, right?
Well, in the original series, they just dropped him off on the planet.
Well, no, but I'm just like in the new one.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Technically, Khan is frozen somewhere in space. Yes. Or sleeping.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So why don't they just like make a show about like what happens to him now? You know, like he lands somewhere, he fucking gets his revenge, he tries to get his revenge or something. You know, like I don't know. I think I'd be more interested in that than.
Or maybe he finds somebody and they go around and they solve crimes together.
Yeah, and he's a super genius.
Yeah, but he is a super genius.
Sherlock in space. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but Khan is more angry than Sherlock is like quirky.
Yes, this is true. That's why I don't see him solving crimes.
But maybe maybe
he'd be more like Judge Dredd.
Maybe he just needed that sleep. That's true. That would be awesome.
Snap necks.
I'm down for that.
Well, they are supposed to be making a Judge Dredd miniseries, or not miniseries, TV series actually.
We are now 8 minutes into this with recorded footage. Back to the episode.
On par with each other. I got the same level of enjoyment out of them. Now, were they necessarily good Star Trek movies? I keep on wanting to say Star Wars, but I'm not going to do it. Are they good Star Trek movies? You know, that's debatable, and you know, all the Trekkies can get into the nitpicking. But as far as like an entertaining movie, an entertaining action, you know, sci-fi movie, I thought they were.
So that that's where I say it's that's the only reason why I say it's okay, because I had high hopes, because the first one set things up. It set the dynamic between the group, and then they just split it all up and created a love story between Spock and Uhura, and then they distracted basically from what could be the great Khan, right?
Yeah,
that's what I felt.
I get that. I'm just gonna disagree with you, right?
It's funny watching you two disagree, because I know Phillip is a lot more of a Trekkie than Max is, and Max is more into Star Wars, and that's the biggest complaint with Into Darkness, was it felt more sci-fi like Star Wars instead of like Star Trek.
Well, I mean, what Star Trek has over Star Wars is it is actually science fiction, whereas Star Wars is more just like fantasy, kind of like crazy epic, you know, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a Trekkie, so you know, from the clear view of someone who's not deep in it, I was entertained, you know, and also I had a chip on my shoulder because as a Star Wars fan, I want to see all things Star Trek go to hell. So that these movies were actually good was, you know, was weird for me, but yeah, I enjoyed them. I liked them.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I hated it. That's not saying that at all. What were you saying, Jason?
I said I would like to see them bring Khan back, not necessarily in the third movie, save him.
Well, I mean, they didn't kill him.
Exactly. That's your ace in the hole. If the third one sucks, get rid of Orsi, bring Cumberbatch back, get your fans back in the fourth movie.
Who's directing it, though?
Abrams and Cumberbatch back on board.
Yeah, good luck on that. I was going to say Abrams is going to be hooked to Star Wars,
talks.
man.
Money talks.
Yeah, Disney's just going to pay him more. What? Oh, he's only doing 7?
He's only doing 7. One of the writers.
Wow.
One of the writers and directors from Breaking Bad is doing 8 and 9, and I don't have his name in front of me.
Abrams apparently was having all kinds of fucking issues with this, so yeah, he's out for the next one.
He couldn't sleep. He didn't want to mess this movie up, so he doesn't want to do another one.
That just makes him a pussy in my book. I mean, come on, dude. You got your hands I mean, it's like, okay, if someone asked me if I, you know, never having done anything in the movie world at all, if someone asked me if I wanted to direct the next Batman or Star Wars movie, I would say, fuck yes, bring it on.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand his perspective. I would think he would wait until, I guess they're trying to release it probably too soon. I would think he would wait until it came out to make that decision. Because what if it's awesome? Yeah. And then he's gonna hand it off to somebody else.
That's how he got to you, because he's like, okay, I made the awesome Star Wars, and then
the rest suck.
Yeah, it's like I went out on top, you know, because like now he's not making any more Star Treks. The next Star Trek's gonna suck. He's like, hey, I made the 2 good ones.
See, that's where George Lucas messed up, because George Lucas did episode 4 and then passed it off to somebody else for 5 and 6. And he should have stayed away, but he messed it all up by coming back and doing 1, 2, and 3.
George Lucas is one of the best special effects guys
yeah,
ever to live. I mean, innovator. I mean, and he had the greatest idea of Star Wars. I love the idea, and that's where he should have left it, man. If he just kept on to the special effects and had the initial idea, George Lucas would still be my favorite person instead of someone who I want to murder in his sleep.
Oh, Max, you brought up a topic I didn't even write down, but we might as well talk about it. Did you hear about Frank Miller's comments about the Batman franchises?
Whose comments about the Batman franchise?
Frank Miller. He said recently that he thought all of the Batman movies were horrible, and he actually walked out of The Dark Knight.
Okay, The Dark Knight he walked out of? I mean, I almost walked out of The Dark Knight Rises, but The Dark Knight...
Let's just go ahead and take a minute to talk about how much of a fucking dumbass Frank Miller is for saying that. We just need to be reiterated. What a fucking dumbass. The Dark Knight, like arguably the best comic book movie of all time.
Yes.
Do I say this like in the podcast right
Probably.
now? I'm sorry, but fuck that guy. All right.
Carry on. You just got the uncensored version, because in the original cast we were trying to keep it.
Clean. We were clean.
Yeah.
Then he went back and saw it 5 more times.
Okay, now Frank Miller is an asshole. Let's just get it out there on Front Street. Frank Miller does not know what the fuck he's talking about. The man should stick to writing comic books, but actually he hasn't even, he wrote The Dark Knight Returns. He wrote
in the 80s.
Sin City. He wrote a lot of Daredevil, great stuff. Man Without Fear. For Daredevil, yeah, that's all good stuff. But like, if you read The Dark Knight Strikes Back, I think he had done too much cocaine when he wrote that. Like, it was all over the place. And then, a lot of the new stuff that he's written isn't up to his old standards. So he can eat a dick. I mean, whatever. Shut the fuck up, Frank Miller. No one wants to hear from you. I've had enough of these bat haters, man. The Dark Knight was the best Batman movie ever.
Yes.
Yeah, easily one of my favorite movies of all time. Is actually in my top 5.
Anyone who admits out loud to walking out of that movie needs to get punched in the throat. That's give me a break. The best Batman movie of all time. Heath Ledger's last and final performance. The role killed him. Okay, that's how much. Give me a break, dude. No, the Dark Knight's awesome. I will not hear an unkind word about The Dark Knight.
I'm just wondering if he's trying to drum up PR for something, because that's
why Batman versus Superman, because he's mildly involved with that. I think.
Oh,
it's based on.
He needs to do that like a month before the movie comes out, though.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Way too early.
The Dark Knight.
Well, from Dark Knight to Batman: Arkham Asylum, or Arkham Assault.
Assault on Arkham.
Assault on Arkham.
Well, we'll help you out, Jason.
Yeah, the new DC or I shouldn't even say Batman feature. The new DC feature animation just came out. I loved it. I 100% loved it. I think it is their best one yet. Yeah, it was great. It was a fun ride. It follows the that's the shit.
So, for everyone that's watching us, what we're about to talk about is what Suicide Squad that was rated R should have been.
Yes.
So watch that. Assault on
Arkham. Yeah, I know we've said it 800,000 times, but
we said it then. I don't think we ever said it again, did we?
No, we talked about it when the Suicide Squad movie came out.
Okay.
But the fucking Assault on Arkham is really, really good. We're probably about to tell you about it.
Yeah. And here we go.
Fix the Suicide Squad. There it is. Yeah, follows the Suicide Squad, and they got to run through Arkham, and they cause all kinds of mayhem. I loved it. They weren't afraid to kill characters. They Harley Quinn stole the show in my book. Really, really had a great time with it, and I thought it was really good.
Phillip?
Yeah, so I enjoyed it. Wasn't my favorite of the DC. I still like Flash Paradox. Or I think that's right. Flashpoint Paradox, that's what it was. I loved that one a little bit more, just for consistency. Otherwise, this one was a lot of fun. After talking with Max about it, I mean, I enjoyed what you mentioned about how they tied in the Arkham background as well as the Suicide Squad, because it gave you that, from the video game perspective of, all right, we're going to bring these characters to life and kind of show you kind of what they look like. I definitely was surprised as graphic as it was, which I remember you saying you loved.
Oh God, couldn't get enough. Couldn't get enough. Anytime it's not for children, I am down. Like, I mean, they just murking people left and right. In the first 10 minutes, one of the guys who thinks is the main guys, dead. Head blown off. I mean, give me a break. Oh, spoiler alert, by the way. But yeah, you know, I just loved it. I thought it was a good time, and it was more adult, you know, because I'm a 31-year-old who loves Batman, so I'm not trying to, you know, I'm not trying to see punches pulled.
Yeah, Jason?
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys said. The voice acting was fantastic. The animation was fantastic.
Yep.
The story was fun. I even like how Batman pretty much took a back seat in the movie, and they let the other characters shine, which was awesome because it kept your attention, even though it wasn't about Batman.
No, it was not even at all about. Yeah, he spent maybe 15 minutes of the movie they spent with Batman, and the whole time he was beating ass. So it was awesome.
Well, like that version of Riddler is what I would love to see in the real version of Batman, if they ever make that, like a live action.
Yep.
All right, Max, let's discuss The Flash very briefly. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a show on CW, so, you know, it's got a relative level of crappiness that is going to be with any show that comes on the CW. But, you know, if you like Arrow, you're going to like this show. Right out of the gate, they let you know, this is guys in costumes. This is all kinds of crazy science, you know, like, because they're messing with. I just watched it again recently to get my head straight on this. They're messing with time travel. They tease Gorilla Grodd. They yeah, crazy out there. And people are all messed up over Reverse Flash.
So I really liked the first episode of The Flash, and something I am realizing now is stuff like The Flash and Arrow and Supergirl. I'm having a tough time staying involved in them because, granted, they are like comic books each week, but it's just like the Law and Orders and all that other stuff. It just resets almost, and then you go into a new episode. I have a tough time with keeping my attention anymore.
Well, I think Flash always had like an arc. I mean, it was, you know,
I mean, they don't touch on it to some extent, but
no, I stopped watching.
Supergirl was probably the weakest of the arcs, though. To be honest, I mean, I know you like the show. It was okay, it's fun, but the weakest of the arcs.
I watched Supergirl because I like that Superman world. So
yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, but I'm not watching it week to week.
But Arrow originally had an amazing arc, and then I think they just went too long. They didn't have enough content.
Because this is the problem. When you think that I'm not getting another season, I need to go for broke, and then you do, and everyone loves it. Now here you are, you went for broke, and you have nothing left. Now we need to make a whole another season. And actually, season 2 wasn't that bad of Arrow, but you could tell they didn't know what they wanted to do.
Not at all.
And also that they were reacting to what people had said. You know, because they're like, oh, it's too dark. He's too, murderous. He's too.
I actually like that.
Yes. I mean, I was down. So yeah,
different.
Like, the Arrow show that they came out with was not the Arrow show that continued.
That's true.
And I think the same thing happened with the Flash.
Sort of.
I mean, like they knew that
they kept with way more time travel than I felt they should have. But
as soon as you introduce time travel,
you were excited about the time travel there.
No, I was just saying that they're doing all those things. With time travel.
Neutral, I will say that.
Time travel and dimension, like multiple dimension hopping, like once you
that was cool. I think they could have kept that with time travel.
But it takes away all the punch out of your stories because now I'm just like, well, why don't you just time travel and fix it, or why don't you just hop into the other dimension and fix it? Like fucking, you can.
Hopping into the other dimension doesn't fix it as easily as time travel.
But I'm saying like go to the other dimension, get whatever the fucking thing is that you need because they made it over there. And then you come back with it.
Yeah, but every time the Flash time travels, he steps on a freaking butterfly and then messes everything up.
Yeah, that part they've tried to do, but it's the problem is it's gotten so cyclical. We'll see what they do this year.
No, I won't.
Well, I will because I'm actually gonna watch it. But yeah, like even my wife's losing interest slowly in the shows, which tells me that the common person is probably even losing interest even more. So, well, yes, the geekier people are probably already gone. And so we'll see.
Sure, Professor Zoom, and I'm like, man, they're messing with Gorilla Grodd over here. Like, once you get into giant talking apes,
yes, that want to take over the world.
Right? Yeah, with plans of world domination, it's over. So yeah, hats off to those guys, just out there not even giving a fuck, doing whatever. You know, I mean, I think the Flash. I actually kind of didn't like the direction they took Arrow because of how they started it. You know, it was really gritty, and you know, like there was just Arrow, like that was the Green Arrow, that was it. And they don't even call him the Green Arrow the whole time. And you know, it was just like a little, you know, it was like the Christopher Nolan CW TV show. But you know, like in the second season, they kind of get out there. They start doing way with the costume. You know, like everyone's got a costume now. They got like 5 different heroes and blah 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 blah, and everything's going crazy. I didn't really like this. A lot of people did like it, and that's the reason I didn't like it.
I think it's going to go more that way. I think that's kind of what Flash is signaling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, like, and the whole thing is though, I'm cool with the Flash because you know at the beginning they're like, hey, you know, this is kind of like Wookiee stuff. And, you know, it's not like, oh, yeah, I'm dark and gritty. I'm the Arrow. I murk motherfuckers because I can. I mean, yeah, I don't think, I mean, like, because, you know, classically, Oliver Queen, is, you know, he's kind of a lighthearted, like, sarcastic guy, making jokes, cracking wise all the time. And in the Arrow show, he's just, you know, this, like, I'm tortured, I'm a tortured soul, like, you know, I've been through all this shit, and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, like, then they just kind of go way off from that. And just like, hey, everyone's got a costume. Supervillains in costumes. Like,
yeah, I think they're still trying to, because I think their plan was to grow him, but I think they lost track of how.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And you know, even still with that kind of darker, you know, tone, there's only so far you can go and so much you can do. So I understand why it happened. I just don't like it at all.
But hey, they can't use Batman, so they had to find another rich guy who's a superhero that they could kind of try to.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, I get it. But you know, it just sucks. That's all.
But yeah, I mean, Max said it all. I thought the Flash was fun. I mean, yeah, Max.
I love your input, dude.
I don't have anything to add,
Jason,
man.
we're just going to call you Checkbox Jason.
Yep, check the box. We're done. Moving on.
Well, like, we're moving on to Guardians, which Max just saw again yesterday.
2 days ago.
How was it again?
It was good the second time. So yeah, that movie holds up. It was, you know, it was solid. A lot of people are trying to compare it to the Avengers and stuff like that, which I don't agree with. But you know, it's a fun, lighthearted kind of. You know, what I do like is the balls that they had, the Marvel had, to just kind of throw you into their galactic, you know, universe. They're just like, hey, you know, they throw out Nova Corps. They're fucking with Thanos. They're, you know, they got Ronan the Accuser, which is one of my favorite galactic characters. And spoiler alert, he dies at the end, which pisses me the fuck off. Like, why do they always kill these super badass villains? I don't get it.
They got to expand, man. So, I mean, I actually really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it got me more in Avengers was a ton of fun.
It's because like fucking Ronan the Accuser, he starts off as a bad guy, or I shouldn't say a bad guy, but he's, you know, the antagonist. Yeah, fucking in the comic books, and then he turns around and he ends up going, like, he ends up being a good guy, he ends up doing the right thing, and fucking he's a badass, and they fucking killed him like it was nothing. They just threw him the fuck away. He didn't deserve that. He's a fucking good character. I mean, yeah, I'm just sad for Ronan the Accuser. I mean, I don't know. I think I'd dig anybody with a hammer. He fights with a big ass fucking hammer. I'm fucking down for that. And then, yeah, they just.
Yeah, I think that Marvel has a hard time with their villains, and I think
everyone. It's not just Marvel.
We'll see with Sony, right? Like, so far they've actually not killed their first villain. They've actually kept him around.
Oh, you know, with Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the Spider-Man was good. Like I'll say that. Like, hey,
That's
look,
what I mean. Like they have
got this villain
potential,
and you know, like they seeded other villains in there because even when you thought the Scorpion was
Doomsday
dead,
wasn't a good villain.
Huh?
Doomsday wasn't a good villain.
Doomsday was fucking terrible.
I don't know if they killed him.
Yeah, they killed Doomsday.
They did.
Superman killed they
I've only ever saw it once.
Yeah, Superman suicide pacted fucking Doomsday.
Which is what happens in the comic books, just not exactly like that.
No,
it's much better.
Yeah, there's no Martha in the comic books.
Why'd you say that name?
Why'd you say that name?
Oh shit! And back.
And I love that movie, but Guardians got me more invested in the story. And that's absolutely probably why I really enjoyed this movie. Is I got invested in the individual characters. I actually grew to love a talking tree. Didn't think that would happen.
Oh, dude, Groot was that.
Oh my god!
I love that they did that. They kept Groot true to character, and he died pretty much at the end. They got to regrow him.
Yeah.
They are constantly doing that in the comic books. So
that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, like one time, you know, Rocket Raccoon's carrying him around in like a cup. He's got a cup with some dirt in it, and Groot's there, you know, like with a tiny little "I am Groot" voice, and no, it's great. They really kept true. You know, I liked it. I liked Guardians. I just, you know, I wouldn't compare it. You know, like I'd say Cap 2, Avengers. They were both better movies for me.
Yeah.
But you know, it was great. It was a fun movie, a lot of fun, and you know, it's. You know, we're Kevin Bacon. You know, like just like the random dumb shit that goes on in that movie is ridiculous.
Exactly. It reminded, like the fun of it reminded me almost like Star Wars. Just especially because it's in galactic space. It's just these crazy jokes. It's kind of off the wall. I was like, yeah, this is a lot of fun, and it's just a different movie for Marvel, number one, and then number two. If you think about just the movies that have come out in the last few years, there's nothing really quite like it, right?
No, yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I think that's the kind of the air that they had, the feel of it is what a Spider-Man movie should be like.
Yeah.
And I really liked it. You know, they did a great job. I'm not trying to knock what was done, but
sure,
you know, I just think that people are out there like, oh, it was better than Avengers, and I was like, you're a fucking idiot.
Well, when I first heard that they were making this movie, my mind is like, okay, there's going to be a talking tree and a raccoon. I had nothing about the source material. So I sat down. As much as I thought the trailers were awesome, I did not allow myself to get overhyped. So I sat down expecting to be thoroughly disappointed and bored. And oh my God, within the first, I think 30 seconds when, you know, after the initial scene, when the movie actually starts and he's walking on that planet and the music turns on, as soon as he hits play on his tape player, it's like the rest of the movie.
Yeah, you're sold. Yeah,
it's a ride. It's like going on a roller coaster and then you get off.
Who's the actor's name who plays Chris Pratt. Yeah, he did a great job.
Who the fuck is
freaking Zoe Saldana, hot as fuck as always, even when she's great. I mean, she's just proving how hot she can be in any circumstance. It's like, okay, well,
blue or green
with crazy stuff on my face. How about that? Yes, you're still hot, Zoe Saldana. Verify.
Yeah, blue with a tail.
Yep, still hot. Still hot.
Even Bradley Cooper at Rocket was really good.
Yeah, and what I liked most about his performance is you can't tell that it's Bradley Cooper the whole time.
Not at all. Not even if you try to listen for it, you can't hear it. You can't hear it at all.
Yeah, he's doing the voice the whole time. Sometimes he slips into Bradley Cooper, you know, where he needs a drink of water or some shit. I don't know what happened, but yeah, no, it was great. You can't tell pretty much the whole time. There's just like a few little times where you know, it's like a reverse bat voice.
So yeah, I think we've
is that fucking everything already? How much time did we waste?
27 minutes.
27?
Yeah.
All right, we're doing better than last time. All right.
Yeah, we did really well.
All right, Phillip, I wanted to run this by you as a gamer. I had a game idea. Jason, I talked to you about this briefly. Now, would you play a?
Now, I'm about to unleash my genius on the entire internet. I've not received any feedback from this, even though it's the best idea I've fucking ever had.
I think that's why Joe P stopped listening to us. He's right now developing your idea.
Well, I mean, fucking let me know, Joe P. Let me in on this. Fuck. dude, I mean, like, you guys shoot it down, but
I don't think I shoot it down.
You shit all over my idea. Phil.
I think
I remember very clearly.
If it's the idea that I'm thinking of, I think it's genius.
Pokemon, the adult Pokemon. Basically.
Yes, Grand Theft Pokemon.
Who doesn't want that? Philip.
No, I wasn't.
Philip's just
I don't think I said that I didn't want it, but we'll find out. I don't
Philip thinks, like, fuck that guy. He thinks fucking Guardians is better than Avengers. Like, obviously his opinion is.
Don't have con in it. Philip will be okay.
Yes, I hope not.
You know, a Pokemon style game, but if you combined it with like Grand Theft Auto, so it's like underground dog fighting, you know, except it's like monster fighting, you know, it's a Pokemon.
Okay.
But, you know, it's like underground and gritty, and the animals really die if you lose. And, you know, you got to like train them up and stuff like that. Like, I really want this game to happen. I think in a world where we've got Saints Row and we've got, you know, all this crazy GTA thing, underground monster fighting is not outside the realm of possibility. And I think it'd be a really fun game.
Yeah, I don't think it's entirely out. It would have to probably be like on a portable system first, or you're gonna because THQ went bankrupt. They're the one company that would have said, "Sure, let's try that." But otherwise, I definitely think you're not entirely wrong. I definitely think the adult version of Pokemon essentially is what you're creating, right?
Yes.
I think that would actually sell. It's just a matter of making sure that parents didn't figure that out.
Oh, whatever. They're coming up to have kids. They don't get a say.
I work in a video game store. Most people buying Pokemon games are over 23 years old anyway.
Because I recently bought a Pokemon game.
So did me, and so did Philip.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Our first podcast is done. We were able to hear Max, and we didn't need to do a ridiculous amount of edits if we need to do any. So that's awesome.
We're going to have to edit this part out.
Yeah.
You can just add it as, you know, here's a little snippet of a side conversation.
I'll just leave it.
You can leave some things just to confuse people. It's like, yeah, we're going to talk about this editing and then like go to some music.
You can hear all the editing we didn't do.
All right, guys, had a blast at the 7th inaugural Geek Newscast. And so when we're going to do this, what, monthly? So our listeners are weekly, monthly, bi-weekly. I say we should try bi-weekly, but as long as this first one took to make.
Yeah, exactly. I think every 2 weeks, yeah.
It's fantastic. And then if we want to do another one in the meantime, we can always hit each other up and see where we're at.
Dude, I'm just digging this technology. I'm going to tip my hat to technology. I'm liking that we're hanging out and none of us are in the, I mean, you guys just got my top head here, and I could be doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh my!
And check, Max.
I don't look my hands. How's that? Look, Ma, no hands. Wait, no, don't look, Ma. That's not cool.
Yeah, all right.
All right, guys.
Nice. Later.
A long time ago.
It was. Like a long time ago.
You know what's crazy?
It really was a long time ago.
We were shooting for every other week, but I'm looking at the dates, and it looks like we went the next week, and then 3 days later, and then a week, and then a week, and then a week, and then eventually we got to 2 a week, where we tried to watch every show.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was horrible. I hated that time in our lives. Oh my god. TV became work, and that just no longer became enjoyable.
No, yeah.
It's not easy to do.
That's the only thing I'm worried about the movie pass is like you want to go see every fucking movie, like
but you run out eventually. There's only so many movies released.
Well, not only that, but then you can only see them once every 24 hours.
Yeah, you can only see the same movie once now. Period.
Oh no, I just meant you can only see a movie once every
twice
20
in a day.
Yeah.
But even still, like I'm saying, so it's like one day I go to the movies.
Oh,
like next week I go to the movies.
Yeah, once a week usually.
But like, there's gonna be more movies than that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's true.
You can go to all the theaters, like they're playing different movies at different theaters. So, I mean, you gotta use that fucking card. You have to. Like, that's the thing. That's what got me. That's the only thing I don't like is you feel obligated.
Just go twice, and you've made your money worth, right?
Yeah, but now you can still go more. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you paid for it, but the movies are still out there unwatched, and you have this card that lets you watch them. Right?
It's true. It
so
is true.
That's my only thing about the movie pass is like I feel obligated to watch movies like at the theater.
For me, it was I felt obligated to watch 3 movies in a month.
Right.
That was
just
it.
to pay for it.
Yeah. Well, no, that was actually to get my money back.
Right.
Basically, double it.
Well, that was an experience. I gotta say, we definitely find ourselves a lot funnier than you guys probably do.
Whatever. They think I'm fucking hilarious.
I think you're hilarious too, Max.
Leave comment, like this video, hit us up on iTunes, Stitcher.
Is better than Avengers stuff. So.
Okay, well then you're not funny.
Yeah, I don't know where you were going with that. He was saying you were funny.
I know, but I was like, he was like, yeah, I feel better. But then I'm like, well, okay, I would feel better, except that you think that Guardians is better than Avengers. So obviously your opinion is skewed to say the least.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. Thank you for the support.
Recycle your droids.
We are actually not going to be doing a show this Sunday. Fancy Chairs will be taking the Sunday spot, so definitely tune in for the Game of Thrones season.
We are a TV channel now.
Have a great day.